Hey guys, welcome back to the Thisissoul Skate Shop YouTube channel. Today we're here in the Vondel Park and I'm gonna learn you how to skate on one foot. Hey, so we're here in the Vondel Park right now. This is right behind the Thisissoul Skate Shop. If you're ever in Amsterdam, come say hi to me and my colleagues in the shop. Of course, we have everything inline skaters desire. And you can skate here in the Vondel Park, right behind the shop. It's a perfect place to practice. This is also where we teach. So if you ever want to get some lessons, reach out to us on thisissoul.com. And today we have an online free tutorial for you. We have a whole YouTube series with a bunch of different topics. And today's video is about skating on one foot. This might seem hard to some people if you didn't do it before yet. You're actually better in it than you think, because when you're regularly skating, you're already skating on one foot. So just one foot, one foot, one foot. So actually everybody can skate on one foot, whether you know it or not. It's just a matter of how long can you skate on one foot. And that's what we're gonna practice today. So I prepared a bunch of exercises for you to make you able to skate on one foot and to hold the position as long as possible. And to start with, I want you to get into the right skating position. It's kind of like what skiers do. If they hold their sticks like this, it's called the skate position. And you want to have your knees over your toes and your shoulders over your knees at all times when you're skating. Never stand with your knees locked. So this also goes when you're skating on one foot. You also want to have your knees over your toes. That way your ankle is locked and it's much more stable. And then you might be wondering why I'm holding a broom. It's kind of weird thing to have as a prop. So just look at what my hand is doing. My hand is moving from left to right. You see that? All right. So if you just focus on the movement of my hand, it was going like this. And imagine yourself being the stick and you needing to balance yourself. You need to be able to move the bottom of your body to left and right to be able to balance yourself. So all the exercises that we're doing today are actually to make sure that you are able to steer your feet underneath your body, so that if you fall to the left, you can correct yourself to the left, and if you fall to the right, you can correct yourself to the right. To be able to do that, you need to be able to flow. We have an entire video just about flow skating, so you should definitely check that one out. Flow skating is basically the type of skating what you're doing if you're not lifting up your foot. So if you're just steering. As a beginner, you're gonna make like penguin moves. You're gonna step a lot. You're gonna step around, step, step, step. But the next step is to flow. So you really wanna be good at that, because the better you are at flow skating, the better you are at correcting yourself if you're the stick that falls. And there's a couple of exercises that you can do. Of course, there's the lemon drops, like this. You can do them backwards and forwards, like that. All right. Then you can do a one-sided lemon drop like this. And also just a good one is a general making turns, just a general sharp turn. Just trying to do just like this, just turning both to the left and to the right. It's just a really basic exercise, but it's really important to be able to skate on one foot. And if you're turning, make sure that both of your edges are tilted sideways, like this. Try to have some speed, make a sharp turn, and tilt your edges sideways. Basically, there's two ways to turn if you're skating on one foot. So if I skate on my right foot, I can make an inwards turn or I can make an outwards turn. The inwards turn is really easy. So if I do this is really easy. But the outwards turn is really hard for most people. So to turn like this is really scary, because you just feel really unstable, and if you fall, you don't know how to catch yourself. So the focus is not in priority on this inwards turn, because most people can do it. If you, of course, cannot do it, please practice it. Practice all the flow skating exercises and get better at it for sure. But the outwards turn, that's the one that you're learning. If you're making those sharp turns with your edges all the way tilted like this, that's the one that you're practicing, because you're learning to lean on this foot when you're making that turn. I'll show you one more time. making a nice and sharp turn with my edges all the way tilted so that my body is all the way in an angle. I also said already that it's a little bit scary for some people. And one way to get over that fear is to do falling exercises, of course. And one of my favorite falling exercises is the Mermaid Falling technique. This is the technique that I use the most, where you get down all the way to the ground, then you tilt your feet to the side, and then you sit down like this. So we have an entire video just about the Mermaid Falling technique. Definitely practice that one, and we're gonna elaborate on it on that video right now, because I want you to be able to do the Mermaid Falling technique on one foot. To practice the Mermaid technique on one foot, we're gonna go to the grass. You need to be able to do it on one foot to not be scared to skate on one foot, of course. So you're gonna go all the way down. You can keep your toes on the ground, but don't put any weight on it. Go down as much as you can, and then tilt your foot to the side, reach out with your hand, and drop to the side, like this. So do it a couple times, and try to touch down as softly as you can. Try to make as soft as touch down, really soft, get down, really soft. Boom. And nice and quiet, sit down on the ground, on the grass. All right, once you practice it on the grass, of course you can go to the asphalt, same thing, boom, get down all the way, and then sit. And then, of course, you do that a couple times, and then preferably you also do it with some speed. So you just go skate, go on one foot, sit down, boom, and slide. That's why you always wear a good, nice jean that's nice and strong. Never skate in like a legging or something that's soft and thin. Always something nice and strong so that you can do the mermaid at all times without hurting yourself. All right, I brought some cones with me. These are the cones that I use for lessons, but of course you have also more like slalom certified cones, which are smaller. You can buy them, of course, at the shop if you want them. And but I use these because I like them too. I'm gonna use them to kind of like control my turns with. So I'm going to set them quite widely apart, way wider than slalom skaters normally do. Oh, make a nice line. And you can play a little bit with the distance. Right now this is about like 1.5 meters apart, but you can also set them like 3 meters apart or 5 meters apart, or way shorter, so that's more like a 1 meter or even a 0.5 meter apart to make it really short. And that way you can play with your speed also. And because the steering and controlling movement is really different at different speeds, and it also depends on your setup. Right now I have a rockered frame, which means that my outer wheels don't touch the ground. See that? They keep on spinning. So they're like 1 millimeter higher. So this is called a rockered frame. And rockered frames are way more maneuverable. That makes it that I can steer a lot easier than I would normally be able to do if this was a flat frame with all the 4 wheels on the ground. And that's why slalom skaters use a really short frame. So a short rocket frame makes it that you can make like really tight maneuvers at really low speed. And if you have like a longer flat frame, then you can only do it when you go really fast. So play with speed a little bit. So that's why I put the cones up, and I'm gonna put them in different distances. And you should do the same to practice the control a little bit. All right. All right. Notice that I didn't lift up my foot at all, and I just kept them stuck on the ground and was just steering. All right. Practice that a couple of times. Now we practice this. I'm gonna do it with some more speed. Also notice what I'm doing with my hands. If you're carving like this, it's a lot like skiing. What you're doing with your hand is they're actually pointing in the opposite direction of that your toes are. When you're gonna start practicing skating with one foot, then it's best to do this same exercise a couple times and then just slowly shift the weight on one foot more than on two. So when you finish practicing with 2 feet through the cones, and you can do the inside turn and you can do the outside turn, you're not afraid to fall anymore, you have the right position, you have the right gear, then you're ready to practice on one foot, to try to skate as long as possible on one foot. And for this, we're just gonna cruise around. And we're gonna try to make each stride, so every time you push off, as long as possible on one foot. This is a good exercise anyway for anybody. Also, if you're like a tour skater and you wanna do some tours or a marathon, you wanna be able to skate on one foot like this and glide. So just try to go on one foot as long as possible. It's a nice little exercise. And you'll notice that it's gonna be hard. You're gonna notice that you can only do it for a couple of meters until you're gonna start using this leg as a counterbalance. So if you notice that you're falling, you should put this leg to the opposite direction of that you're falling to correct your balance. So look at what I'm doing right now. It's just moving like this. And that's the way I'm actually controlling my, my motions. And then when I move my knee inside or outside, then my foot is following, all right? So if I fall to the left, I can counter it by steering with this knee. If I move to the right, I'm also gonna counter it. So practice actively controlling that knee. Just play with it a little bit and you'll notice that you'll instantly start to turning and steering, because you now have a good basis because of all the other exercises that you already done to control this. So that's how you try to go as far as possible on one foot. Just keep on going further and further until you reach the end. After practicing with a free ride on one foot, you can of course also do it on one foot through the cones. Just play with it, have fun, and if you want to learn more about skating, watch our other tutorials. If you want to learn more about hardware, we have a lot of reviews on our YouTube channel as well, and you're always welcome to visit us at Thisissoul Skate Shop in our store. So hopefully until next time, either in our store or on one of the YouTube videos. Bye bye.